Would you rather have the black president or the white president?
President-elect Donald Trump, everybody. Meanwhile,
people in Hollywood think that you just put a BLM sign in the window and that means, you know, you're like a saint. And it's like, you haven't done anything. What you basically did was appeased your sense of responsibility. What are you talking about? I put a sign in the window. I'm on the right side of history. Or my favorite one was white people marching in BLM marches, filming themselves. Or Instagram, like, look what a great person I am. So it's just like, I don't know. Human beings are interesting.
on the topic of race and political movements, Bill Burr has a thought or two.
All right, we're going to create a new banner. This is a Jum Doc alert.
But of course, that's not all when it comes to mainstream media.
Many of these protests started peacefully with legitimate questions about the war. But in many cases, they lost the plot. The fear among Jews in this country is palpable right now. Protesting the way the Israeli government, the Israeli prime minister is prosecuting the retaliatory war against Hamas is one thing. Making Jewish students feel unsafe at their own schools is unacceptable, and it is happening way too much right now, harkening back to the 1930s in Europe, and I do not say that lightly.
Burr has a straight and to-the-point approach.
It makes my blood boil when I walk into a house with people I know, and if they're watching CNN or Fox, like, I can't get past like, when people watch, like, the Kardashians, it's like, why would you do that to your brain?
Judge Moore has also said that he doesn't think a Muslim member of Congress should be allowed to be in Congress. Why? Under what provision of the Constitution?
Because you have to swear on the Bible. When you are, before I had to do it, I'm an elected official, 3 terms. I had to swear on a Bible. You have to swear on a Bible to be an elected official in the United States of America. He alleges that a Muslim cannot do that ethically, swearing on the Bible.
You don't actually have to swear on a Christian Bible. You can swear on anything, really. I don't know if you knew that. You can swear on a Jewish Bible.
Oh, no, I swore on the Bible. I've done it 3 times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've picked a Bible, but the law is not that you have to swear on a Christian Bible. That is not the law. You don't know that? All right, Ted Crockett with
I don't know. I know that Donald Trump did it when we made him president.
Because he's Christian and he picked it. That's what he wanted to. That's what he wanted to swear in on.
Oh yeah, and on the know-it-alls who are elected officials.
I'm so sick of you know, one of the number one ways you know that you're a idiot is that you think you know. That is just the number one thing. Like the confidence that mouth-breathing morons have. The confidence is astounding. It's limitless. They'll criticize NASA.
Burr has a spot-on take as well.
He may disavow them all he likes, but Donald Trump's allure to racist is rearing its ugly head, and David Duke is one of Donald Trump's biggest and least welcomed fans in Louisiana. Duke is barely getting 5% in the polls, but it was enough to get him on a debate stage and voice his admiration for Donald Trump.
I will be Donald Trump's most loyal advocate to make sure his nominees go to the Supreme Court.
It's been an ongoing problem for Trump, stumbling over questions on how to handle support from known racists.
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. You know, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
Even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group.
Another terrible moment, on top of many that voters just allowed to go by the wayside. Burr sees another approach on the subject.
So one of the things I've been kind of having fun with in the red states is talking about the Klan and how there's all this stuff you can't do anymore, but you can still join that group. But I go, that's a great example of white privilege. That you can still join a terrorist organization as a white person, and it's protected under this freedom of speech. That's one of the most fun things about doing stand-up, is going to a place like that and doing some stuff like that and getting them to hear it.
essentially trolling conservatives in deep red states with his humor. A welcoming message overall.
Chloe Feynman, was the one.
Imagine.
I was the one. I cried.
How people find this show and this guy funny is beyond us. However,
Yeah, I do find it weird that how much trouble you can get in for a joke, but you can just have like this unstoppable, insatiable greed. Just the whole concept of a corporation that every quarter you have to make more money or else you're a failure. I don't understand like how these CEOs can just give themselves bonuses. It's like, is that just like legalized stealing from the company? And some other shareholders always seem to have a problem when they're doing something that would be for the common man. But when, at the end of the year, when they write out bonuses, for some reason the shareholders have no problem that they took all of these profits and put a bunch of it in their own pocket so they could go buy another house. For some reason that goes under the radar.
Burr does the impossible here, showing how people being offended at jokes is meaningless when they let robber barons like the top 1% rob from them each and every year. It's a full circle moment.
Of national attention, and in case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball, and that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
The elected officials of yesteryears.
No, I just miss old school politicians, you know, that just sort of gave you a speech, gave you some hope, as opposed to like, you know, now I don't know what we have. There's literally actors out here talking how they want to run for president. Which strikes me as hilarious. It's like, you got this great life, you're making 10, 20 million a movie, and you want to get a job where you're going to have like dead babies on your fucking conscience because the bombs don't always land on the bad guys, and you're going to age like 40 years and you're like, what the would you ever want that job for is beyond me.
Burr says he misses it while proving how devilishly evil they were.
One reason they don't get exposed is because they're afraid to speak out, because it's the only religion that acts like the mafia that will fucking kill you if you say the wrong thing, draw the wrong picture, or write the wrong book.
Oh yeah, and on this guy?
Well, let me ask you a question. How is war still legal? With all this that's been canceled.
Legal.
Why is that still legal?
Would you like a real answer to that? Because for something to be illegal, you have to have the capacity to enforce it. And you can't enforce against war, or else you have to go to war with the country that's going to war. And we don't want to go to war with Russia over Ukraine. What would be the sense of making it illegal? Oh, that's really going to stop Putin. No. To stop people from going to war, you have to also put boots...
You can't sit down and talk it out? Why can't Putin do a podcast with the head guy? Like, you just solved the Middle East on a podcast. Why can't they solve what they're doing on a podcast?
See, this is why this is not your thing.
Make some hard-nosed decisions. It's not your thing. It's what you...
It is my thing.
It isn't your thing.
This is not your thing.
It isn't. You're like that guy that has a fantasy football team and thinks he's a GM.
No.
That's exactly what it is. Like, why am I listening to you like you've done something? What have you done in Washington? Nothing.
Burr does what Katie Porter and more should do. Throw it right back in his face. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.